everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. It's opening week in the NFL, and today we have two teams are more than ready to get the season underway. It's the Browns going up against the Dolphins. The opening kick of the new season is straight ahead as we turn it over to our broadcast duo of Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in one of America's finest cities, Miami, Florida. Tonight, it's the Thursday opener for the new NFL season between the Cleveland Browns and the Miami Dolphins. Hi, everyone. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. Charles, you look at the Dolphins as they enter play in this one, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet, and both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game, there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They passed the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
With fall around the corner, football is back, America, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And a glance here at the vet. He's got a lot of years under his belt in the National Football League. They'll run it now out of the gun. He takes this for 3 to the 29. The wide receivers, often a very, very talented group, and that's the case here.
And they don't mind showcasing it either. Those guys love to be flashy, love to make big plays out in the open field. They will attempt to do so in this game.
Second down following the run. Gun. They'll look to throw. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. Uh-oh, Charles. Now you get to talk about your old spot, the secondary. Very key here in this one.
Yeah, you have to cut me off because, you know, I'll talk about them all game long. Love to see those guys match up and challenge the best wide receivers.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. They'll set up to throw. And that is incomplete. The Dolphins will send out the punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. Fielded at the 20. And he's got room. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. Their dangerous wide receiver, 79 yards. And the Browns have taken the early lead. They get the stop defensively, force the punt. They score without their offense even stepping on the field.
I remember playing on special teams and teasing the guys on offense like, look, you don't even worry about it. You guys just hang out over there. We'll bring this one all the way back and get the points we need. In this case, they actually got that done.
It's up and through to make it 7-0 Browns. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
And partner, in a lot of short yardage situations, you'll see the linebackers step up into the gaps, what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, to make sure they take away all spaces, all creases. That one worked really well for them.
Now only needed a yard, instead went backwards. Ooh, with a juke. Muscles him off. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback. They'll run it now out of the gun. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain. And if this offense is going to flow today, certainly the running back will be a key piece.
Without a doubt, because they asked their runner to not just do that, but to block, to catch, to help set a tone for their offense.
2nd down, 8. They'll set up a throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up 3rd down on the sack.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
The defense in an enviable position here. The offense needs 13 yards. It's 3rd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over,
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. Wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it. Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move. Three down. Hurry up, here we go. Boom, landed.
He'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. And they'll run it here. And some room to roam now. The 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great effort there. 42 yards. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
A try here for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
15 yards through the air on a first down. And they talked about how important the passing game was going to be against that defensive look. Good job there going to the air for the first down.
It's all about preparation. It's all about planning. And then it's about execution. So they put it all together in practice. Okay, this is what we think we're going to see. This is how they get to it. And then when the game comes, read it and attack it.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. So now 1st and 15. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. They give him 15 more, and it's another first down.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
To me, that's a superior play by the backer because he was allowed to, I think, run free on it and make that play. His defensive linemen, they cover things down for him because offensive guys, the linemen, what they're trying to do, as you know, is block the guy at the point of attack and then climb to the next level and get the linebacker. And you're not allowed to climb. You got a free hitter, and that's what we saw there. And a really nice play resulted for them.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
2 plays in a row, the defense won, stacking up the running game. They've got to feel good about themselves, but something has to be in the back of their minds. Are we being set up for something big? They've got to be careful.
It's a gain of 9 yards, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending the guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big gain.
So here we go, a 3rd down after the 2nd down pass completion. On play action, they'll throw. He sets to fire deep. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he's on here to punt it away. He gets this away as he'll wisely, I'd say, angle this to the sideline. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give him a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. And that linebacker group today could be very key.
As we were preparing for this game, you pointed out to me as we were watching film that the linebackers look like an elite unit. I agree with you totally. They move around, fly to the football, and take it away from offenses.
Second down, they'll try and run the counter. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. They tried to run the counter, just that the defense wasn't fooled.
And when they're not fooled, you see the end result, because what you're doing there, you mentioned the counter. You're using your offensive linemen sometimes to pull or move to influence the defensive front to go in that direction and create the space back in the other side and block it appropriately. But you're exactly right. Didn't move him. Sat there waiting for him and made the play.
The Browns send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Fielded just inside the 20. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. So 2nd down was a run play. Now let's see what they do on 3rd.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
So this game's not very far along, and he's already found the end zone once, and now he started this drive with another big gain, another 1st down run. I've got to wonder if I'm the defensive coordinator, what do I do in this situation? It's only the 1st quarter, but do I go ahead and sell out and try and slow him down and make him beat me another way? Because the risk is if I don't, he ends up having a monster game. Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I didn't get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up the defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a 1st down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Going up top. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Their big-bodied receiver, 29 yards. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra-explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches, and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Snickers. You're off your game when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back here with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We've had the kickoff to begin the 1st quarter. Now it's time for the 2nd quarter kickoff, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They come up in an offset eye. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
A 1 yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1 yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1 yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
They're going to look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he is out of bounds, getting it across the 30-yard line.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second. And they brought the pressure there just right up the gut, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. And, you know, when you've got so many different responsibilities as an offensive line, you got to deal with the nose tackle, the 2 defensive tackles or ends, and then sometimes you just can't account for everyone. The linebacker slipped free.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Out of the gun now on third down. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to fourth down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
The Browns send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. And the Dolphins offense now ready to go back out on the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he finds a man on a crossing route. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver, because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
3-4 defense, usually here you'll see the linebackers come up, make those plays, but the nose tackle also vital.
That was so vital because what you just pointed out, normally he eats up blockers that allows the linebackers to get to the ball carrier. In this case, he did his job and then some, and there was no gain at all for the runner.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Completed pass on second down. Now it's third down as the defense looks for the stop.
Hey, we got three.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield.
One of the beauties of a 3-4 defense is that you have flexibility with your linebackers, and you can put them in different spots. But one of the downsides is an offensive team that's committed to running the football, you can get your big offensive linemen up on linebackers quicker, and that usually gives you an advantage in running it.
Yeah, this is a high kick, but it's not going anywhere. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. It'll go as just a 15-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. So a second down incompletion now brings up third down.
Here we go. Brad 38.
Back to throw. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively. But instead it just brings up fourth down. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. A gain of 3, second down.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, they decided to air it out a little bit on that play, take a shot downfield, but the coverage was really nice. Able to get a hand in and tip it away.
7 yards remain now on third down.
4 down. All right, here we go. 3-19.
Back to throw here. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now fourth down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. And now the Browns coming out on the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
A good pickup of 6 there on first down.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed, I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's got time. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They get 9 yards there, and they get a first down.
And fit's the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
They go play action here on first down. Finding time. Going, and that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Their dangerous wide receiver. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And the defensive there, that was a battle. He just made a really nice play.
A really nice play, making sure his body position was correct. And how about the throw? Zipped it in there.
And it results in the touchdown. Point after try forthcoming. Now we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be taken in at the 1. A beautiful fake. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So now here come the Dolphins. Play fake here on first down. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. So the incomplete pass brings up second down.
Here we go. Here we go. Gun!
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Down the numbers. There he goes. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great play there. Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Dolphins have broken our tie as they take the lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, the little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass. No interceptions for him personally to this point. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29. A couple of Dolphins in on the stop. Third down now following the run.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. A reminder coming up at this and every halftime this season, we'll be checking in with Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of our first half.
LR, that's my man.
That's your guy.
Come on, let's go.
On first down, he'll drop to throw to the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
Can you do any more work or make it more dramatic for not much gain than what we just saw there? Did you see how his toes got down? Tip-tap, got him down. But what did he get out of it?
He sold the sizzle. He just had no steak.
I mean, was it 1 yard?
Yeah, plays like that, you at least expect a first down. They're just 1 yard. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. A nickel back added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. They'll look to throw again. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
I think the training and practice broke down on that play because he simply didn't run the route deep enough to get to the first down marker, despite what was a really nice catch and toe tap on the sideline.
Yeah, that's 3rd down 101. You got to go to the marker, know where it is. And out come the Dolphins now. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And he comes back with one complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes a timeout, and now we're set to get going.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll look to throw now on first down. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Fresh set of downs here. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Surveying the field. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
And now we get a look at the captain of this offense heading back out there now. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure that his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm...
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Back to throw now on first down. Quick hitter here. It's complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Receivers work all the time on making sure they catch the ball, haul it into their bodies before they turn and run. A little bit of loss of focus on that play.
And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Back to throw again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. So now the Browns will turn it over to their field goal unit here. This from 54 yards away. And that is no good. Hit it well from distance, but he couldn't work it back in. So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener. As we check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando, he's standing by with our EA Sports halftime report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Charles. And welcome to our EA halftime report. I'm Larry Ridley. Both teams have had their moments so far today, and that's why we have a tight game on our hands. We'll have to see if either side can take control in the second half. All right, let's do it. Here's a look at the first half highlights. Dolphins will punt it away, and he's gone as he sprints into the end zone as they put the first points on the board. Now 1st and 10, run play coming up here, and he'll take this 42 yards for the score. Dolphins tied up at 7. Dolphins with the ball, end of the first. Pass into the end zone here, and it leads to a touchdown. The Dolphins is up now by 7. Browns with the ball late in the half. Here he'll look into the end zone, and he caps off the 6-play drive with the score. We're brand new at 14. Still a little time left on the clock. They would go with the option here, and he scoots into the end zone for his 2nd TD. Dolphins up by a touchdown.
Thank you, LR. Appreciate it.